What's happening, guys? I'm Kyperian, the Rambling Man. Let's try to not ramble as I try to explain to you guys what I think is the best and quickest way to prep um, before season one. So, with there's a pre-release now. While it's currently released, with that current release, heroic dungeons have been released. A lot of people have been, sweating over these heroic dungeons, trying to get 571 gear, trying to get their crest, trying to get their valor stones, and get their gear upgraded to 593, which is what you can upgrade your gear from heroic dungeons to. And I'm here to tell you that's stupid. All right. The reason why I think that that's stupid is that I could go into PvP, hold your socks. I'll show you in 2 seconds what I mean by PvP, and I can gather honor and get this gear, which I can then use Valor Stones, and I can level this up to 301. What I'm recommending is that you go into PvP and you get every single honor piece of gear from here, right? Then you can go run your heroic dungeons to your heart desires, learn these dungeons for Mythic Zeros, gather your Valor Stones, so that way you can upgrade all of them. But here's the kicker. In week one, the WoW gods have blessed us with Comp Stomp. So if you're not a PvPer, this guide still works for you. Comp Stomp, if you're not a PvPer, is us, the players, versus computer players in Arathi Basin. It is the easiest game ever. Okay? You're going to 5 cap every single time. The queues for these are going to be very quick. Tons of PvPers are doing this to get their honor gear before they go into randoms, epics, or arenas before the season starts. This is their grind for their gear. They're in these right now, crushing these CPUs. They're on your team, not crushing you. Crushing these CPUs so that you can get 320 honor on average per game. That means within 2 to 3 games of this, you'll be able to get one piece. You could run entire dungeons. You could run 5, 10 dungeons, get pieces of gear that you do not need and waste hours. Whereas this is 30 minutes of time, guaranteed to get the piece of gear that you need. That way you can count on it for your list. Be methodical about it. I'm sure you could have some RNG good luck in dungeons, maybe possibly gear faster than this. But this way, you know that you're going to get the pieces of gear that you're going to get. I know people say your secondary stats, you're going to have a ton of versatility. Do not worry about that. That gives you survivability in Mythic Plus dungeons that you're learning to figure out. It's going to maybe save your life, give you that extra half a second. Your DPS is not going to be hindered all that much. Just a little bit. It's definitely, there's a reason why we have secondary stats. But as you grind through your Mythic Plus in the actual season, you can then start to focus on your BISs and get away from all of this PvP gear. I'm just trying to give you an item level that helps you have a higher bottom for when you do push into your Mythic Pluses. That if all your gear is 580, maybe your first push through, you can push up to 4s and 5s, get some of that higher level gear, help you push into the 7s or 8s, and maybe within your first week, you're pushing 10s if you're a sweaty pusher. Or, it just kind of gives you a little bit of a leg up if you don't have all this time and you're like, how am I going to gear and be ready for Mythic Plus? This is a simple way for the next 2 weeks. If you have one character, you can focus this way. You know that if you sign in for about 30 minutes, you're going to get one piece of gear. If you sign in for an hour, you're going to get two. Once you kind of get these head, chest, weapon, and your pants out of the way, these other pieces are much cheaper. Next rings 525. You're talking, a game and a half essentially. If you play 3 games of that, you're going to get both your rings. So, um, I definitely think this is a strat that a lot of people should look into, especially with the comp stomp where you're not actually having to engage in PvP, but you can get the benefits of PvP, the benefits of this gear. This gear is actually also somewhat beneficial if you do use war mode in the regular world. It's going to upgrade you to 626. If you're ever in like world quest or any of that stuff, once you get like scaled up to here, if you can stay within combat and do some world quests, you can kind of expedite your world quests very fast. It does seem to kind of die off at some point and realize that you're not in PvP combat anymore. But a couple times, been able to use that and you're just hitting things like a truck. So it's nice to have that. And also, I mean, I play in war mode a lot of the time, so golly, to be able to survive out there in the world. And this gear definitely helps you do that. So it's my world gear, however you want to look at it. But yeah, I guess that's my quick little guide here. A little over 5 minutes, but most of that was just me rambling about nonsense. So I hope you guys all have a good night. Take it easy. Please drop your comments, likes, follows below. Tell me if my guide fucking sucks. If you guys think this is the fucking dumbest idea to get there, or even if it's a good idea. If you have questions or anything like that, shoot me questions. I'll try to have a gear guide when season 1 drops, and going forward on what I think is the most efficient way to gear up your tunes. Hope you guys all have a great day. Take it easy.